Hey everybody, just getting a couple quick videos in of 9.5 test. Unfortunately, because of my internet situation, I won't be able to put up as much as I used to on the test server. Basically, I only get a brief window where it's actually playable. The rest of the time I've got like 500 millisecond ping, which is obviously not worth playing. So we're here with the new British Tier 7 tank destroyer, the Challenger. This follows on from either the Achilles or the Sherman Firefly, depending which tree you go down. It's basically just a giant turret slapped on a Cromwell chassis. It's got a 17-pounder gun in it. As you may have already noticed, Wargaming have not yet fixed replays, so they still jitter around a lot. So I'm disappointed to see that. I was hoping they'd have it fixed for 9.5. Obviously they haven't. Sorry about Steam again. I always forget to mute Steam. This is actually unique in the line in that it actually has passable gun depression. As the line progresses and the guns get bigger, the depression gets worse. This one, the turret's actually not that much bigger than the standard, well, it actually is quite a bit bigger than the standard Cromwell turret, but you know what I mean, it's not disproportionately large. It's a weird looking thing. It's got a very thick chunk of metal on the back of it. That's not intentional armor, that's a counterweight for the gun, I believe. And it has some weird shit going on the top. I'm not sure quite what the deal with that is. It looks almost like some kind of, I don't even know, honestly. Anyway, I get some quick shots there into the KV-1S. Now, it is a 17-pounder gun. It's quite decent. The problem is that this tank destroyer has lower DPM because of its slower reload than the Sherman Firefly does. The Firefly is a Tier 6 medium. This thing is a Tier 7 tank destroyer, and it's lower DPM than the Firefly, which also is much more mobile than this. Well, no, correction. The Firefly is more mobile in the medium sense. This is faster in a straight line, but because of the extra weight of the turret, it doesn't corner as well as a standard Cromwell. It does get up to 52 kilometers an hour on flat ground, but the Firefly is just a better tank in terms of driving. Firefly also, aside from having ridiculously high DPM, which I very strongly expect to be nerfed before it's introduced to the actual live server, the Firefly is just a little bit more survivable. This thing has no armor, being based on a Cromwell and then having a giant slab-sided turret. The thing on top of it looks almost like it's louvered all the way around, which is actually, I guess, a distinct possibility to get rid of all the gases from the gun breach when it gets opened. Anyway, I'm sorry I couldn't show a better match in this. Unfortunately, because it is the test server and because people will tend to gravitate towards tier 10s on the test server, it's very hard to get a mid-tier match. It's especially hard to get a mid-tier match within the very small window of opportunity I had to actually play. So this is the best I could do in this thing. Also, I honestly wasn't planning on playing the Challenger. I just wanted to see if its gun handling made up for its much worse DPM than the Firefly. Just for reference, the Firefly has almost 5 rounds, actually I think more than 5 rounds per minute up on this thing, which is really significant. The Firefly actually sits at around 2800 DPM, which is fucking absurd. That's like tier 8. Actually, no, that's tier 9 Soviet medium level of DPM. Wait? Yeah, tier 9. So that's about what the T-54 has, maybe a bit better. It's like T-54 patent territory right there. So, sorry I couldn't give you a better impression of this thing, but I can give you a quick summary of it. Basically, it's a pretty fast, mobile gun carrier. It's fully traversable, 360-degree turret, has okay gun depression, not great. It's not very well armored. Its camo isn't that great because the turret's quite tall. But at the moment, the Firefly is a better gun platform. Now, once the Firefly gets nerfed, which I would almost put money on them doing it. Actually, I may as well go into the full story here. The Firefly has been in the game for a very long time, because if you go and look in the garage on the test server at the moment, in test iteration 1, the view range is listed as 367 meters or something, or 367.5, and the rate of fire is listed as something stupid. It's because the listings for all the stat lines are way back from, this is, I think Prav posted this just not that long ago in the SA Tanks thread. The stats have come back from all the way back in 7.2 or something, before they redid all the way the in-game stat lines were handled. And so the British medium line, which is all Lend-Lease tanks, seem to have been implemented years ago, but were never actually put in the game, I guess due to lack of demand and because they wanted to put the other British tanks in first. So that's a possible explanation of why its DPM is so high. It appears they just copy-pasted a bunch of shit from the EZ8 and haven't got round to fixing it all up yet. But then again, you would wonder why they would even put it into the test server if it wasn't at least, presentable. In its current state, the Firefly is rather hideously overpowered. It's difficult to show because, again, I haven't had a chance to get a decent match in it, and I don't know if I'll be able to before it hits the live server. But, I mean, if I tell you it's a tier 6 medium with 2800 DPM, that pretty much speaks for itself. I mean, and especially with the 17 pounder at tier 6, you could imagine how ridiculously powerful that gun is at tier 6. But yeah, this thing, at the moment, and while the Firefly is still rocking DPM more suited to a tier 9 medium, this thing's not really that relevant. It's going to be one of those things you just grind through and get rid of as soon as possible. But the ones that follow on from it, which I do actually have some videos of, are very interesting. So without further ado, I'll wrap this video up here. And thank you for watching, by the way. I know it's not the best video you're going to get of this thing in action. There are probably other people uploading videos of it as I speak. But I just wanted to sort of put a quick bit up. I didn't want to go through a whole test iteration without putting anything up, because, that would be shitty. Oh yeah, and before I forget, you can also see Wargaming have started to fuck with the minimap. They said they wanted to add a lot of the functionality XVM currently gives you, and so here's the first part, the little dashed line showing you the direction your turret is facing. So no doubt over the next few test iterations we'll see some more parts of that get enabled. But yeah, I'm going to put some videos up of the following tanks from this, and so I'll be able to discuss the line more fully in that. I haven't got any of the Firefly at the moment. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get any before it hits the server, as I said, but I'll see what I can do. The other one I really want to get footage of is the Archer, which is the tier 5 tank destroyer. Now, if you know anything about your British tank destroyers, the Archer is the back to front one, and it handles exactly like the Crusader SP in terms of driving. You have to drive it backwards to get up to full speed. I tried to get some decent matches in that earlier, but either I kept getting blown up because 500 ping is not easy to play with, or the other thing that kept happening was I kept just getting stuck in shitty matches because there was nobody playing tier 5s. But thankfully there were plenty of people playing tier 8, 9 and 10, and so there's plenty of footage of the other, well, comparatively plenty of footage of the other ones. Next up will be the Charioteer, so I will see you on that one.